Right, I'll get started. It's 9 o'clock. Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another one of our 30-minute quick webinars. Today, you've got myself, Nick Aikman, Channel Account Manager, along with Lisa Aitken, also Channel Account Manager, and supporting us is Nick Stanich, who's one of our channel sales engineers. So today, what we're doing is we're going to go through what is CRM. We're going to look at the 8x8 integrations. We're going to have a look at a demonstration on the system and see how that looks. And then we're going to look at some of the resources that we've got available, and then come back at the end and we're going to summarize that. So looking at what CRM is, I guess CRM, everyone should probably understand it's customer relationship management. I guess it's the age-old dilemma with CRMs. It's looking at managers and administrators and how they can make sales and marketing teams more effective at their jobs without pushing them too hard or, of course, losing their support in the business. Traditional strategies of trying to boost them and boost productivity, for instance, like raising sales quotas or asking employees just to simply work harder, can backfire very easily if you're not too careful and you lose the people. It could wind up causing more harm than good more often than not, and it's productivity that you're after. It's key to a business, but can be an extremely touchy subject if not got right. So there are other approaches you can take. Clearly, we're going to look at this from an 8x8 standpoint and using our technology like the virtual office client and the contact center client applications. We believe that can help cut down on wasted time, and it makes it easier and more intuitive for workers to hit their quotas, or obviously what's relevant in their particular job roles. So if you give them the right tools, and the right results should follow on after that, it's bound to improve organically. In fact, in a recent blog that 8x8 put out, we explained how we can increase productivity in an organization just simply by integrating customer data with the business phone system. For 8x8, for instance, we offer numerous integrations, which Nick and Lisa are going to cover a little bit later on, and a true public cloud phone system offering. So that comes with its own embedded CRM. I'm not particularly going to touch on that today, looking at more of the mainstream brands that we can connect to. So with CRM integrations, we can certainly maximize customer data that your business is already using. That's the key thing. You've already got that data, and it's a way of making that data work harder for you and your organizations, obviously your customers' organizations. So bring these features and functionality of 8x8 into the applications you use every day. It should help to eliminate time wasting, streamline the solutions, get rid of that switching between programs to call somebody or conference them or meet with them or video meet with them, and just basically provide a better service and better insights into the interactions that you're already having on a daily basis. Types of functionality, you'll obviously know most of these, I guess, from time in the past in terms of how these work. But in things like screen popping, information about the caller can appear on the screen straight away. And so the contact center agent is already sort of equipped with the information as it arrives, often known as click to call or click to talk. It gives you the ability to make calls in real time via our virtual office client or the VCC client app. So just by clicking on designated text within this CRM, or indeed in potentially any other application or website. So again, it's about saving time. So manually dialing phone numbers, it can be inaccurate. It takes time to do it. Just by clicking a number on the screen, it makes it far simpler, far quicker. Generally speaking, it's compatible with any web page or any CRM solution of your choice in terms of being able to dial. But for us, such things like Zendesk, Salesforce, G Suite, Sugar CRM, Zoho, and so on are some of the standard sort of applications and CRMs that you'll be familiar with and your customers will be using as well. So that's what we're looking to focus in on today. So organizations with high volumes of outgoing calls, customer support, sales environments, this feature can really help enhance their productivity. And then perhaps coming down to the bottom one, looking at IVR, interactive voice response. So with an interactive voice response integrated with your customer relationship management solution, that can give a more engaged service to a customer or customers. So the IVR solution will use already available data. So again, it's back to that, use what you've already got, make it work harder for you. It's collected, it's stored into CRM based on the available CRM data and user interactions. Potentially you can have the system provide that more, if you like, personalized IVR prompts. So it knows who's calling, perhaps it knows why they're calling and it can greet them in a different way. So thus the IVR solution integrated with the CRM can render a better service, giving more personalized responses to the customers. So again, really essential, building it around the CRM system, not just thinking of CRM as being just the data holder, it's where everything's stored. Yes, we get that, but it's how can we make it work that little bit harder for you and make the most out of it. So why would we integrate into a CRM system? Well, I think we've covered some of the key ones already, but certainly about getting our CSAT scores up, being faster, being more productive, reducing errors is absolutely key. And I think for us, there's several different things you can focus in on. Certainly understanding your customers, agents not having to dig through multiple screens to access detailed customer records. With 8x8 CRM integration, it'll allow you to consolidate that wealth of information that you're building up about a whole customer's journey into one easily accessible CRM platform. So when picking up the phone, an agent can very quickly see exactly where the customer's been in their buying journey. Might also help you to plan ahead. So CRM integrations can also help agents identify hidden information that can result perhaps in future sales or sales there and then as they're on the call. So maybe during a phone call interaction, an agent can see that the person they've got on screen at that time has recently downloaded a white paper. If it's us, they've downloaded a white paper on free video solutions, for example. So already they've got that information and he or she could use that knowledge to stoke the fire and move that customer in the right direction of something that they perhaps hadn't initially just called in for. You've got some more information, you've used it because the CRM holds it. So you can plan ahead. Streamlining on reports, again, the single pane of glass, so it avoids having multiple screens and multiple views, but it also gives you that one point of presence so you can look at reports. So managers don't typically have the luxury of time. So when they're looking at spot checking on interactions, that's for quality control. We covered QM in an earlier session last week, and analytics. That sort of thing with CRM integrations can make it possible to consolidate agents' performance and data. So it gives managers, if you like, that direct window into how their teams are performing, again, just in one single pane of glass. In theory, you can ditch the spreadsheet. Will we ever do it? You know what? Probably not, is the reality of it. But many sales teams are still using spreadsheets to upload customer data, and then they track it that way. Now, that's just open to errors, because what happens is I have one spreadsheet, Nick has another, Lisa's got another one, and we think we're all working off the same thing. And the reality is we've all made little changes to it, but no one else can see it, bar the person that actually made the changes. So again, having it centralized, having that CRM in one place and linked into the 8x8 system just gets rid of that errors, and it means you can potentially ditch those spreadsheets, which I'm sure we'd all love to get rid of those. Frees agents time up, puts more focus on the calls, and hopefully helps us all close more deals. And in terms of going out to our prospects, it shows them how they can just make more out of potentially what they've already got. They've potentially got a PBX, they've already got a CRM. Are they bringing those two together? We can certainly show them how to do that. I think lastly, and maybe overlooked, not particularly shown on the slide, is looking at the legalities around it. There's lots and lots of lists out there that are the no-call lists. You shouldn't be calling certain people, certainly with GDPR. Now that's even more critical than ever. So having a CRM system that will flag those particular people that shouldn't call will stop somebody doing that. Or again, if we integrate it fully, it could even be designed so it will not allow you to do that. But at a basic level, if it comes on the screen as somebody's about to call it, you can immediately see it's a no call, we shouldn't do it. So lots of reasons why you should integrate your CRM, and clearly for us, why you should integrate it into an 8x8 solution. So on that point, I'm going to hand over to Lisa, who's going to cover off some of the different integrations. So Lisa, I'll hand it over to you.
Lovely. Thanks very much, Nick. If you could just move on to the next slide for me, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, so what CRMs can we integrate with? We do over 20, in fact, out of the box, which are obviously have been driven by demand and popularity. That list is being added to all the time. So every time we do one, it will be added. The best place for you to keep up to date on that is our website, and you've got the link there. We will make these slides available to you, so don't worry about grabbing a pencil too quickly. For anything that's not on that list, then it doesn't mean that we can't do it. It means that we have to look at it on a case-by-case basis, and that's where our professional services teams come in. We do have a lot of developers that work for 8x8, so we can look at it. What we would ask is you get as much information as possible and bring that to us in terms of what the customer is looking for. The term integration means different things to different people. Some people might be looking for something really simple, click to dial, screen pop in, that sort of thing. Some might be looking for more in-depth database lookups or writing notes back to the CRM. So depending on what it is, we need to just look at it for you. In terms of the CRMs that we can integrate with, if you could go on to the next slide for me, Nick. Thank you. So this is just a list taken. As you can see, we have VO, which is our virtual office, UC, back office type product, if you like. So there's integrations for that, and then VCC is our virtual contact center. So some of the applications we integrate into both back office and contact center. Some are just VO, so bear that one in mind. Again, when you're doing your due diligence with your customer, find out exactly what type of worker it is that needs that integration to be moving forward. So you can see the ones on the screen. Other ones that we do integrate into that are not on there, Agile CRM, eAgent, Mindscope, Okta, which is around the verification side of things. One-Page CRM, Practice Partner, Sales Fusion, Teamwork, Top Producer, and Zoho. Like I said, that list has been expanded all the time, hence I couldn't fit them all on the one screen. Just a note on Microsoft Teams, that is coming soon, so watch this space. Obviously, that's going to be a real key one for us. So we will be following up with a full session on what that will look like nearer the time. In terms of the integration, again, as you can see on the key features panel there, it's different depending on what the application is. So if you take Slack as an example, obviously that's a very sort of technical operations type developer tool. So it's going to be commands that are integrated with in that regard. Your more popular ones, so Sugar, ServiceNow, Salesforce, all that kind of one. Then you're looking at the basics, click to dial, screen popping, but also auto login and the integrated search. So again, that's giving you that single application that you need to work in. Especially contact centers, they don't want to be jumping in and out of different windows because it just creates confusion and slows everything down. Next slide, please, Nick. So just having a look at our website then, 8x8.com/UK/products/integrations. So the filter panel on the left-hand side will let you quickly get to what you're looking for. So under services, business communications lets you filter down to virtual office integrations. And contact center, self-explanatory. If you tick that, it's just going to show you the ones that we have into VCC. So please do bookmark that. It's really, really handy. A lot of the queries that we get are around, can you integrate into this or that? Again, if it's not on the list, just find out as much as you can from your customer around what functionality they want and also what CRM it is. If you can get the version, if you can get what it's written on, brilliant. If it's web-based, chances are we can probably do it. But again, just finding out exactly what they're expecting and documenting that is really, really helpful for us. So I think that is the demonstration. Yeah, perfect. So I'm going to hand over to Nick now. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, everyone. I'm going to share my screen now. Hopefully you'll be able to see that.
Yep, thank you.
Fantastic. So as both Lisa and Nick said, the different integrations involve different things. So what we're going to start with is I'm going to show you a very quick overview of the G Suite integration that we have on the client within the browser. So, for example, each one of the integrations will be divided into several different pieces. The same case is with Gmail integration or G Suite integration. So the first piece to it is the right-hand side soft phone. You can see it on the right-hand side sitting there. So you have the call control for your soft phone, so you can directly dial from here. You can also click to dial from the emails. So if there is a number that's highlighted here, you can actually click to dial from there. The second piece to the integration is a view of client presence. So on the right-hand side here, as soon as I clicked on the email, we can see that that the G Suite is recognizing the Satish's part of this email, and we can see straight away his statuses. Now, statuses are different between G Suite and 8x8. He might be currently on the phone while he is not in the meeting, in which we'll say that the G Suite part will be available while he will be busy on 8x8 and so on and so forth. We can also choose other people from the thread. You can see everyone who is on that thread and select their name to see their current status. And that functionality will also allow us, when we receive the call from, for example, in this case, Nicholas, if we receive a call from them, we can filter down the emails just to that person, or all of the last interactions from that person. The second piece to the integration is the integration with the calendar. So if I was to create an event within G Suite or G Calendar, I will have the option to add an 8x8 meeting to that invite. So when I invite people, if I invite Lisa Clark here, I can simply add a virtual meeting, which will then allow me to log in, and basically the details of my dedicated meeting space, which will then be sent out as part of the invite. The integrations that come native to 8x8 are free of charge, so only certain licenses will have the integrations included, so from X to above, and you will have those integrations free of charge. They are very easy to download. You can either download them on the Microsoft Store for Outlook, for the Microsoft Suite in general, or from the extensions part in the Chrome browser. So you can essentially add the 8x8 pieces to your suite, whichever one that is. When we talk about the integrations from the CRM perspective, you have multiple integrations dependent on the needs that you have. So, and also depending on the licenses that you have. So, if we are talking about Zendesk, in this case, and this stands for all of the integrations that Lisa named on the slide and that are on the website. So essentially, I have Zendesk here as an example, and we can integrate both virtual office and contact center. And in case of Zendesk, we can do that at the same time. You will see at the top right-hand corner two small icons. They are 8x8 branded. One of them will be your panel for the VCC, which I assume you are familiar with by now, especially since we went through one of the previous refresher sessions for the virtual contact center. So you will still have exactly the same interaction panel and all the same functionality within the Zendesk platform. And this comes to the point that Lisa mentioned. Your agent, you don't want your agents jumping between screens, having different and disparate systems to move around with. Everything sorted from one interface and from one window. The same thing stands for virtual office. You can see the virtual office is much more looking much more like the G Suite piece, which basically gives you the functionality of the common directory. It gives you the history of the calls that you can later log on, and the dial pad. Now, the same pattern follows us. So we have a click to dial from each one of the CRMs, and we are also leaving the call logs. So if I open up any of these call logs, you will see that we are leaving certain information in here by default. Now I'll show you how that looks like from the Salesforce perspective, because it's a little bit more obvious. But essentially, each one of the information that pieces of information that we have about the phone call, we can leave in the call log. In this case, we left a very basic amount of information, when the call started, when did it end, and who called who. However, you can leave things like call recordings, you can leave the dispositions codes in cases of virtual contact center, if that's what you're using. So I'll show you how that looks from the Salesforce side. But the final piece I wanted to talk about here is the screen pop. So essentially, the screen pop will, if you're receiving a call from a customer and you have their phone number in the database, regardless of whether that's an 8x8 database or a CRM database, you will get their details in front of the agent before the agent answers the call. That will also include the set of interactions or the last interactions with the client. So even before they call you, you will know who they are, when's the last time you talked to them, or anyone from the team to talk to them, and what did they talk about. Okay, from the Salesforce piece. So if I open up the Salesforce, we have it already here set up for the Lightning interface within Salesforce, but it also works with a classic view and the console view of Salesforce. Now, the interaction panel is at the bottom left-hand side. So you can see the interaction panel popping up here. So even when you're receiving a phone call, you can still continue using Salesforce as your main system or main workflow. So the interaction panel will just pop open. You will get a screen pop, which you would expect from any integration, and the screen pops will open either a contact, account. In cases where you're using this for a ticketing system, the customers can enter their ticket number within the IVR, and we can even open the ticket for them, for the agent that the customer wants to talk about. But the point is, again, the same flow is and the same capabilities are available within all of our systems. So you will see the contact page, you will have the click to dial for each one of the numbers here, and you will also have the task view on the right hand side here, or the call logs that were logged against that particular customer, or in cases of an account, that will be the history of the account. Now, if I open up any of these logs, you will see that now we are leaving a little bit more information about the call that happened. We can see who it's assigned to, and each one of these pieces of information can be put into a custom field created only for Salesforce or only for the particular CRM that you are looking at. Now, all the functionality that I'm showing you here is the default functionality that comes free of charge that you can use in whichever way you want. However, each one of those integrations is customizable, is heavily customizable by the professional services team. So we operate on a platform called Maestro. Maestro allows us to communicate with any of the CRMs in exactly the same way as we would with our native CRM, which basically means that on the other side of the Maestro platform, on the inside from the 8x8 perspective, we can basically introduce a whole spectrum of features and functionalities that don't come as default, but they are sort of a niche for each one of the industries, each one of the clients. So if you do have any needs for customization of this, that is possible, and please talk to your accounts about it. I will wrap up with that, but it's probably important to say that, or to reiterate what Lisa mentioned before. So there is somewhat 20 different CRMs that or 20 different applications that we integrate with. But anything outside of that is available for integration through an API call. And we do offer a full stack of APIs. I think there's like 12 categories of APIs that we can utilize to achieve exactly this functionality that we are talking about here. Okay. Thank you for your time, guys. I'll wrap up with that. I'm not sure if I'm handing back to Nick or Lisa, but
thank you, Nick. That was really good. Thank you very much. So just to wrap up, everyone. So we've talked about what is a CRM. We've talked about how we can integrate with it. We've shown you into VO, into VCC, and into both, or Nick did certainly. So resources is in terms of a follow-up. Again, just a reminder, our website is a really good mine of information. It's updated all the time. So please do bookmark it. You can individually look up the case studies and bookmark that, and also the integrations as well. So we're going to give you the links for that. Our press releases are being updated all the time as well, in terms of how we have we've helped certain customers. So again, feel free to have a look at that. And videos as well. We've got some canned demos, if you like, pre-prepared on there of various different integrations. So again, look that up if you've got a specific need for a customer. Then perhaps that will help you not have to book a demo and wait. So it's all about speed at the end of the day. Partner Exchange, which hopefully you all have access to by now. Again, that's updated with all your campaigns and everything. Useful information on there. Marketing site where you can look up the campaigns that we've been talking about in this series, and also useful data sheets and things like that, which again will live on the website, so it's probably preference on that one. And just a reminder of all the help that's available for you. If you do register a lead on Partner Exchange, that's going to come in to us and end up with one of our account executives who all have a sales engineer aligned to them. So if it's something a little bit more technical, you need assistance with a demo, then they will help you through it. And again, if it's not one of the out-of-the-box integrations, we've got the full professional services department with deployment options as well. So you don't have to do it on your own. So with that, I would just like to wrap up and say thank you again for following this series of webinars. We've got another two in the series, one on Partner Exchange and one on IVR. We will be sending out the recordings for all of them, so you can catch up on any that you might have missed. So just to say thank you to Nick, and we'll close the call at that. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.